How you guys doing? It's Tamir back with another Arsenal update video. This is for game preview for Liverpool on Thursday. Today is Tuesday. Just let me know if you guys want me to drop the game previews 2 days before, um, or even longer, even sooner than 2 days, or if you want it one day before. So we got our game against Liverpool, 19th game of the season in the Premier League. And obviously, every game, like I explained last video, is a cup final for Arsenal if they're trying to win the league. Like I said, I want you guys to come along on this run with me, and I'll be explaining things in depth, just really just how I want to talk about things, and then I'll talk about things in more nuance after the game, post game, post certain screenshots from formations and stuff like that, and how we either did well or things we can improve on, stuff like that. That will come out um, after games. So game preview: Liverpool's last 8 games now, and their last 8 games, the first 2 games in that 8 game stretch, they tied. Then they went on a 4 game winning streak. And then these last 2 games, they tied. Obviously, they conceded an absolute belter to Harrison Reed in the 97th minute when Cody Gakpo thought that he'd won it for Liverpool against Fulham at Craven Cottage. So they're on a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a skid, but for, especially for how their season has been going. But in terms of, the what they thought they could get from that game, they're obviously going to be disappointed for about that result. Arsenal, coming off a positive result against Bournemouth, might not be the way that they wanted it in, with Gabriel's mistake early in the game to give Evan Nilsson an open goal for 1-0. But then the squad showed amazing character to be able to get back into the game. And Declan Rice, one of the best midfielders on the planet, really showed that and got us to 3 points. Insane strike from Junior Krupi to bring Bournemouth back within one. But something I wanted to talk about before I get into the game preview is that exactly. There was something posted on social media where they could see Saliba talking to Gabriel in French, saying, we're not mean enough after we survived against, I think it was Wolves. It might have been a different team. And that's true. We haven't been mean enough at all, especially at the end of these games. Especially if you look at the goals that they've conceded. When they actually do concede, and it's really been in the 90th minute. Sunderland had to go snatch one against Wolves. Aston Villa broke our hearts. And there's probably a couple games that I'm forgetting. But it was good to get it over the line against Bournemouth just to see that meanness come back. And it's not that I was looking at my TV praying and hoping that they scored, but when that goal from Krupi went in, it was like, okay. And I looked at my TV and I said, okay, Saliba and Gabriel, this is your time to get mean. Like, this is your time to let's not talk about it. And I know they didn't come out and say that. That's just what cameras picked up. But let's actually go and do it. And they did that really, really well. I mean, Bournemouth didn't have a sniff after Krupi's goal, and Arsenal actually went on the offense and started attacking a bit more. What I would like to say about Noni and Saka's relationship on that right side is beautiful to see, just because I wouldn't say Saka's the type of player to get complacent. Like, usually you get more talent in because, okay, I don't want this guy to be thinking this is his position, no one can touch him. But Bukayo Saka is genuinely the best player on our team. So it's still good that Arteta got in backup for him, because obviously the minutes, just because, we've seen his hamstring almost fell off the bone last year. And he almost had to get surgery. And Kai Havertz actually did have to get surgery. And now Kai Havertz is going through this knee injury where he got surgery. So Kai Havertz has been through a lot in the past, year and a half. But I digress on his situation. it's good to see this competition, if you will, because Madueke is not letting up. You saw in the Champions League against Bruges, insane goal. And then you saw the game he started, and I forget against who, but he started. It wasn't Bournemouth. No, yeah, he did start against Bournemouth. He started against Bournemouth, and he played really, really well. He played really, really, really well, and we signed him for shots, right? He led the league last year in shots, in total shots. So we signed him to get more shots. That's what we needed as a club, to get more and more shots. If you can get shots, what can you get? Goals. I mean, that's how, it's simply put, that's how you can score goals, if you get shots. So we're going to sign a player who's young and led the Premier League in shots. It makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad Arsenal did that. Pushes Bukayo, pushes everybody. I can make a separate video about Gyökeres, but I just wanted to give just a tad bit of context before I get into the game preview. But obviously a big game. The last time we beat Liverpool at home was 2024. I mean, Kivior was on the squad at that time. Jorginho was in the squad. So a lot of things have changed. We didn't have Zubimendi. A lot of things have changed since then, and it's time to get another. It's time to get another win against them. We keep going back and forth with Liverpool. The margins in these games are extremely tight. And the Liverpool way isn't to sit back, but I feel like in this game they might try to mid block us more than press us. They might go from mid block to high. Usually it was just straight high press, and we always play this high octane game. But when you're coming to the Emirates, Arne Slot is obviously more pragmatic than Jurgen Klopp, so he might do something different. For injuries, Calafiori might be back. That's a big might. We might probably just have him back for Portsmouth in the FA Cup away from home, but he's not going to play in that game. Or at least I doubt he would. In terms of getting minutes, he might play just to, just get him 20, 25 minutes in the bag. I'm expecting Kai Havertz to be back for this Liverpool game, which is really big. But in terms of setup, I'm expecting Raya, Gabriel Saliba. It just depends on how Arteta thinks they're going to set up. Without Mo Salah, with him at AFCON, I don't know if he goes defensive and starts Nkapie at left back for his defensive capabilities. He might go MLS at left back. I don't know if Ben White still has his knock. Timber at right back, and then it's straightforward from there. Zubimendi, Odegaard, Rice. A lot of people talk about, Eze hasn't played a Premier League match in 4 games, but I'm not the biggest Odegaard fan, and I'm gonna make so many videos telling you why, and so many examples, but he's played well since he's come back from his shoulder injury. He's played really, really well. Really, really well. So obviously there's certain things within games that he can do better, and certain moments that he doesn't really take charge in, especially in transition. But if you're just gonna keep the ball from me, whatever. Like I can kind of, we can rely on our more dynamic players to make to really get us over the line in those types of transition situations, in those, in those situations where you have to be dynamic and kind of use a bit of your athleticism, which he doesn't have, but he's fine with the ball. He's fine with the final pass, so he's fine with me. And then Saka and Trossard at left wing. The reason why I left striker blank is, who does he go? Is Jesus going to start? Because we've seen Jesus start games, right? He started he didn't start that. I was going to say the Carabao Cup game against Brighton, but he didn't start that game. But Jesus started a game recently, so he can play a full 90. Would he play Marino at striker? Probably not, with all these strikers that we have fit now. Is Havertz fit to play 90? Probably not. Or is he just going to go Gyökeres? We'll see. With Van Dijk and Konate, Jokic being able to handle the contact. Can he hold it up against those two? It's going to limit our football. Like, there are certain prem strikers that are just around bad players. So you might be thinking, well, how come a team like a Wolves or a West Ham or all these low teams or mid-tier teams, Crystal Palace, and how are they able to beat Liverpool? Da da da. Well, their team is not as good as Arsenal's, but their strikers are. I'm not even talking about being PL proven. Their strikers just are better at holding up the ball through contact, which Jokic, we didn't buy him for, right? We have Kai Havertz for that. Kai Havertz was doing that job, and the reason why people were getting mad at Kai Havertz is because he couldn't finish. It wasn't because he couldn't hold up the ball. He was playing against the strongest defenders on the planet, and he's 6'4". He was taking it off his chest, holding it up, getting Trossard and Martinelli in the play, getting Odegaard in the play, drop off, spin off. It's just that when it got to the box, sometimes it was just the level wasn't where it needed to be, and that's fine, right? That's fine. Now, I don't know if you just buy a player for so much money from the Portuguese league to try to nullify that, because if you do that, you're already assuming that his box presence is the same as Havertz, that his movement is the same, if not better. And is Jokic's finishing better than Havertz? Yes. But how can I see your finishing if you never get in those situations to begin with? That's why Kai Havertz was so good. And I know people hate Kai Havertz, and I'm just trying to tell fans who don't understand soccer from a closer lens, guys, to be in a situation to do anything, you have to be in the situation. Like, you can't say, well, okay, Tamir, well, Kai Havertz sucks at finishing. Kai Havertz is in the situation to even finish in the first place. Jokic is having to feed off penalties so far. Had a good, I wouldn't even call it a good brace, but had a couple goals against Atletico Madrid way back when. And I know he's gone through a couple of injuries, but I need to see Jokic get at least 3 shots a game. Like, that's what we got mad at Kai Havertz for, right? He would get in these situations. He would be in the box. You know, he's moving around. Ball comes to him, boom, off the post. Ball comes to him, boom, keeper saver. Ball comes to him, and it's a little fluff shot that goes, zero point 0.5 miles per hour past the post. And you're like, yo, we need a striker. And it's like, not really. Not really. If you're going to get a striker, you have to get a striker with the box presence to be able to win the box against these tall Premier League defenders and these strong Premier League defenders, and you need the movement. If those two things are not there, then I don't care what price tag you put in my face. It doesn't justify buying that player. That's why before Jokic even existed, we wanted Osimhen, but those wage demands were crazy. Then we wanted Šeško, and people are going to be like, oh, Tamir, look at Šeško United. Well, obviously, our setup and our culture is different from Manchester United. He would have, and he's a raw prospect. It's going to take him a bit time. He's 20. Jokic is 28 or 27, So any Arsenal player I'm going to back. I want to see him continue to improve, but I will say the margins get even tighter when he plays, just a little bit, because I don't need someone that's just, okay, well, Tamir, he's very busy and he occupies these defenders really, really well. Possessions are hard to get, and we need to be able to keep the football. So if every time I give it up to you and I go long and you continue to lose it, do I really care about that one time or those 2 times you get it right in the game when you've lost already like 6 or 7 duels? That's the thing about Kai Havertz. He never lost his duel. Balls in the air, chest, down. Let's go. Bring the attack up. Ball in the box, header. It's a shot. Like, he gave us something, and we missed that a lot. Our team is just really, really, really good, so we're still in first place. But we could be even more than 6 points ahead if we still had Kai Havertz, and we're still in first place in the Champions League, and we're still in semifinal in Carabao, and we're still in FA Cup. FA Cup hasn't started yet, but we're still in FA Cup. So that's something I want you guys to look out for. If I were to give you a game preview, and I wouldn't say this is fresh and new information, but it's just something to look out for. Watch number 14, Victor Gyökeres. If he starts, watch how he handles contact from Van Dijk and Konate. Watch how he handles it. Didn't handle it well when we played at Anfield. That's why there was a little bit more pressure on us. Didn't handle it well when we played at Anfield. And the game kind of turned into a Spartan 300 match with just duels and blood and sweat and tears, and we didn't really get into that sexy Arsenal footballing rhythm that you're used to seeing, just because the game called for duels. The thing about Kai Havertz is that we could kind of go from sexy for 10 minutes to duels to sexy. You can't stop duels. It's football. Like, you're not going to be able to stop. That's how you earn the right to play the game. But if Victor can hold the ball up, bring the attack up, get on Saka's crosses, learn the box movement. Obviously, he's not going to learn box movement in 1 week. He's, like I said, he's pushing 30. But I want to see something different. So that's what to look out for. That's to look out for this Liverpool match. Liverpool will probably be in their 4-3-3. I don't think Szoboszlai plays right back. I think Connor Bradley will play right back. I think Frimpong will probably either they play Frimpong at right wing, or they play Szoboszlai at right wing, and they go Curtis Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch, Gakpo, or they go Gakpo and then Ekitike. But I think Arsenal should just win the game. If I'm being really real with everybody, I think Arsenal should genuinely just win the game. So I'll be here for a game for the post game. Bring you things, bring you images. Like I said, I just wanted to get in front of the camera for my second video, and obviously my first video. I'm just working on getting in front of the camera. I got a lot of things on my heart and stuff like that. So I'll work on getting things more, aesthetically pleasing for people to look at, with pictures and graphs and stuff like that. I'm still working on that. But thank you for being here for me. I know this is a long one, but game previews are really long. Just so I can give you a whole kind of, outlook of the game. So I'll wait till Thursday comes around. Yeah, Gunners, yeah. I'll see you guys later.